Hi, I'm Matt, and in this video we are going to be answering the question of Matt, why do you not own a mini Racewing or Eachine Fury or a TechOne FPV wing? Isn't this like a good idea to have the carbon fibre section in the fuse? Now this question, that's kind of like a broad question. This question is coming from numerous different people from within the Ragnarsov community, and it's just one thing which I just want to set straight for you, okay? And let's just do a quick history on this one, because as many of you know, I'm a massive wing fan. However, there is a slight issue. So before we get to that slight issue, we will do our little bit of history here, which is the original wing which came out with this kind of concept of having a carbon fibre or glass fibre centre section was the mini Racewing. One of the creators of this wing did turn up in the Facebook group and got really shitty actually. You can look back in the chat on this one, and some of the community did give him a couple of suggestions, and he got really upset and then left the Facebook group. So the beginnings of the mini Racewing was never going to be really good. So I made my point, which I'll make to you in a few moments' time, about the mini Racewing and this format of wing. In a few moments' time, once you realise what I'm just saying, it might actually make sense. So we'll move to the Eachine Fury, which is, again, if I just zoom in there a touch, again, it's got the kind of carbon fibre section, and there's two versions of this TechOne wing. That's the red one, which Sir Bruce has been and flown and found that it's just too flappy and too weak, and again, there's a blue version available as well. It doesn't matter what we're talking about here, whether it's the TechOne, whether it's the Fury, which is an EPO version, or it's the mini Racewing, okay? My issue with this format of wing is that I personally class them, and I'll pick on this one here, as a death trap, okay? And the reason for that is very simple, which is this main fuselage section here is that it's a good idea. I understand why many people would think it's a good idea that the wings fall off during a unscheduled landing, but for me that's not the point. You can do that with an EPO wing or an EPP wing if you set the fuse section up correctly. Okay, it's easily repeatable with having an EPP fuse, for example. But that's not my point. My point is that is a lump of carbon fibre in the centre section, and if that was to hit you, okay, or a fellow pilot, that would fucking hurt, okay? So going back to the mini Racewing is that there is just no give in that centre section, okay? So it's not like a normal flying wing, and yes, you can have an FPV camera on the nose and stuff like that, but at least there's some foam there for it to bend in. So my issue with, no, it's not just the Racewing, I'm not just picking on that one specifically, but there's other versions available of a similar format, is that I just don't like the format, and I would just never own a format which I don't like. And you know how much I like flying wings. I'm a massive flying wing fan, to say the least, but there is a kind of like a limit to my passion, and that is with a carbon or glass fibre fuselage. I just do not like the format. I classed it way back when like the mini Racewing was first coming out as being a death trap, and I'm going to stay true to my word. It's never, this format of model is not a model which I will ever purchase, and also not a type of model which you will see on this YouTube channel, unfortunately. Okay, so that's my stance. That's the reason why you've not seen the Eachine Fury or the TechOne FPV wing or a mini Racewing, is because I just don't like the format, okay? Now, I'm sure you may have different opinions to me, and you'll go, Matt, well, why didn't you got with a wing and you've got a camera on the front, that's still going to hurt just as much? Yeah, it's going to bloody hurt if one of these wings or a different wing hits you or somebody else, that's for sure. My argument is very simple, which is carbon fibre does not bend, whereas at least with a wing, if you've got the camera mounted in the nose, the camera will give and move into the foam itself. So that's my standpoint. If you disagree with me, or if you've got any comments about this, please do let me know in the comments section underneath this video. So that's a quick Q&A question which is coming in from the Ragnarsov community. This is a little series which I'm running at the moment. If you've enjoyed this, maybe you've got a question which you would like to ask me, you can do that. In the video description underneath this video there is a link not only to the models which we've just mentioned, but also there's a link to a Google form which you can ask your question, and if it perks my interest then we'll grab that one and we'll do another video like this very shortly. So with that said, from myself, Matt, cheerios!